Namaskar, this is Uma Jayaraman. I've been involved in school teaching as a teacher for many years, for almost 20 to 25 years. And afterwards, after taking off from the school teaching, now I'm into online teaching. Basically, my subject is Sanskrit, and I've been enamored by the different trends and changing trends that's happening in this educational system. So the moment um, I was contacted for delivering a lecture, school reforms, I welcomed it. So today's topic is blending traditional and modern methods of teaching. Change is inevitable. So there are many changes, right from the traditions, the way we have been taught, or even our forefathers, to the modern ways of uh, teaching. We know that the Aksharabhyasas used to start with the parents holding the child in their lap and with mantrocharan, and the child used to, with its finger in the rice plate, it used to write the first letter. Now, the fingers are same, the kids are same, and they might be playing with the keyboard to learn the aksharas or the syllables. I am reminded of a very famous shloka by the famous Sanskrit poet Kalidasa. Puranamityevana sadhu sarvam nachapi kavyam navamityavadyam santah parikshyanyatarad bhajante mudhaha parapratyayaneya buddhi. Meaning is that all that is old, traditional, need not necessarily be great just because it is old, and all that is new need not be discarded because it is new, not time tested. Wise people examine both and decide whether it is worthy or not so worthy. Only a fool will be blindly led by what others say. So, tradition and modern methods, let's examine them and see what best to absorb and to adopt in our education system. All of us know that, when the first steps, when the child is introduced to education, the first step that it takes is learning alphabets and numbers. How are these alphabets traditionally introduced to us? Maheshwara Sutra. It is, said that Lord Shiva, when he played his Damaru, as he was doing the Tandava Nritya, 14 clusters of syllables came. And those clusters were the akshara, that the meaning of akshara itself is that which never perishes. So these clusters were introduced to us, and the great Padini, the grammarian, took them and introduced them to or used that as the basic of his Vyakarana Ashtadhyayi. Aksharam Naksharam Asti. So what are those clusters? What are these clusters? Ayun, Rilak, Eung, I out, Hayavarat, Lan, Nyamagananam, Jabhai, Gadadash, Jabagadadash, Kapachatata Chatata, Kapai, Shashasar, Hal. So these sounds, when Lord Shiva played his Damaru, came out of this. It is interesting to note that in these alphabet or Varnamala, we don't see A, E, U, R. Why? Because they are not different syllables. They are not different or aksharas. They are just the same extension of a, e, u. So e, e. So they are not a separate varna as such. So now we know what all, how much of thought has gone into making this Varnamala, the phonetic rules, and the place of pronunciation. All this has been included when we traditionally made our Varnamala. Same goes with the numbers too. Exhaustive studies have been done. I find these days, the alphabetic order is taught in slightly different manner in some of the texts. Most of our Indian languages are phonetic. So the way we speak, that's the same way we write or pronounce. There is no confusion about, but and put. So there is no need for aksharamala or varnamala changes just for some flimsy or just for some other reason, because these have been time tested. Vocal cords, vibration, stress, place of pronunciation. There is a huge science that has gone behind making these Varnamalas. Similarly, the Vedic maths, when we talk about tradition and blending the modern, Vedic maths need to be a part of a regular curriculum. It will also make everyone realize that there is an inbuilt calculator waiting to be tapped to its potential. Another change that I find in modern education system is memorizing is not being given that importance. Why the child has to be, burdened and things like that. But memory does play an important role. And, by memorizing, the subconscious mind plays a great role which needs to be tapped. So tables, learning some shlokas which really, helps you in articulating and pronunciation and things like that need to be a part of our formal education system. Another thing, definitely the education has to be very interesting, very stimulating. The classroom should be vibrant. But let's not forget that regular, routine, mundane is also a part and parcel of life. So let them also have a taste of the mundane and the routine, which will help them, which will help the child in his journey forward. So when the child starts learning, there are a few things which are very important. The child, in the education system, we need to introduce silence. Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. So unless we learn to be silent, how do we experience this? Silence is a source of great strength, says another great scholar. Second thing that is important is the child has to be introduced to meditation. All these benefits have been listed here. Concentration increases, kindness increases, controls pain, overcome addiction, manages anxiety, reduces stress, self-esteem. I mean, there are immense benefits of meditation. So earlier the child is introduced to this meditative mode or meditation, it will help and it will increase the concentration and focus, which is what is the essential part of education too. Then the third one is yoga. What is yoga? The Patanjali Sutra, the Patanjali, who's a father of yoga, he summarized it in a very pithy manner. Yoga chitta vritti nirodhataha. The wavering mind, yoga tries to control it, conquer it. It's a long journey, it's a laborious journey, but it should happen when the child enters schooling. The mind is tuned to experience silence or stillness first, then the meditation happens, and then when we practice yoga, which is essentially a spiritual discipline based on an extremely subtle science that focuses on bringing harmony between mind and body. It is done with the help of breath in various asanas. It is not like, twisting and turning your body to be trim and things like that. The yoga has much, much deeper meaning. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna defines it in many different ways. Samatvam yoga uchyate. When you take happiness and sorrow equally, with equal spirit, that is what is yoga. So basically tuning your mind to accept both as a part and parcel of life. Another way, in another place, the definition is yoga karmasu kaushalam. Be it the smallest job that one does, it has to be done well. So no job is, lesser or greater. Every work needs it's the best way. If a person is sweeping, it has to be done well. It has to be done very well. If a person is making a tea, it has to, that all the flavors should be blended well. So so yoga also has to be a part and parcel of our modern teaching methods. I know there are lots of schools they have adopted it. It has to become a part and parcel of education. Now, with all this silence and meditation and yoga, the child is perfectly ready to use the technological innovations to its full potential. We just recently saw, sankalpa of this young lad, 11 years, 6 months old Gukesh, who had this firm belief, I want, or firm, sankalp, I want to become the youngest chess champion in the world. And when he was 18 years, 8 months old, Gukesh is youngest ever chess world champion. And he does give credit to the meditation, to yoga, and we all saw what a wonderful way he respected the chessboard by clearing it, by keeping all the coins in their places. So that is a kind of gratitude also is developed, and all these help in the future. So these are all, basis of education. With all this, then let's make use of technology, modern technology. Say bye-bye to chalk and dust and related allergy, the eyes getting red. Say bye-bye to Krishna Phalakam or blackboard, and welcome the whiteboard, which really gives kind of a brightness, lifts up the spirits. Another, the internet has to be, which is a storehouse of information, has to be, is used, and it has to be welcomed in the educational system. So tradition blending with modern. In the lighter vein, the Anadi Ananta cloud. From there, we got the gift of the Vedas, which are said to be Anadi. They were there in the cosmos, in the Akash, in the Ananta Akash. And the sages, because of their meditative power, could decipher them and bring it to us. Today, the same iCloud or cloud is storing all the essential information for us. So this journey from cloud to iCloud is definitely an awe-inspiring one. There is a new concept of quantum. I do not know whether it is very new, but the quantum theory uh, has also come, and there are lots of scientists who say that we are all connected. It's all one whole. There is no duality. The philosophy of Vedanta is actually coming back to us in a way through this quantum theory. According to modern scientists, everything is in the universe is just a manifestation of the same quantum firmament. It actually reminds us of the great Nasadiya Suktam, which declared Nasadasit na asit sat iti. So there was no asad, there was no sat. What exists was shunya. And from this, we all emerged. In the same tune is Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. So we are all linked together is what it all means. When the child with this kind of a mind frame is taught, what should be the teaching? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Let us all make it a point to emphasize that we are all one. We are all a part and parcel of one full universe, one complete universe. And I am a part and parcel of this vast universe. Vasundhara means Prithvi. The word itself, when we get the etymology of this word Vasundhara, what does it mean? Vasu means wealth. So this land filled with wealth. So that which holds the Vasu or wealth. And we are all one part and parcel of it. The moment I know that I'm belonging to this one vast world, what will happen? This thought, the basis of Sanatana Dharma, when it seeps in, then this is a path for growth and prosperity. But if the dual attitude seeps in contrary to this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, when we think I and this Vasundhara is there, this is something else, and the dual attitude, what it does, it creates exploiting tendencies to grow. All this natural wealth of Vasudha is meant for me to grab, to relish, and I have the right to possess, exploit it to the maximum. When the child has these embedded in him or her, then the erosion happens. Conflict starts. All conflicts, the basis is this dual attitude. This is about the quantum theory, which is making, what it says is that separation is an illusion and everything is a part of the same interconnected holographic projection. This particular theory, because it is something to do with physics, I'm not, I'm still trying to explore it. But I thought, the quantum theory needs to be what actually all this builds up or is aimed in, to is these help in developing the intuitive ability of a student. So with intuition in mind, these basics definitely help us to blossom and flourish. There are many modern methods which are welcomed in, just like the internet and things like that. Phonetic words, integrated approach. What is out, unfortunately, is the, as I spoke, the Varnamala, just because in English we have a put and a but, we don't have to, dabble, because all our Indian languages have this roughly, they follow the phonetic order. Cursive writing, these days they don't emphasis, given enough emphasis, and prayer needs to be a kind of a prayer, means you don't have to link it with any religion. Just be quiet and meditate. National anthem, which used to be a part and parcel of our schooling, is missing. Memorizing table, handwriting is not given the importance. Of course, the written writing is not that important, one might argue, but handwriting has a role to play. History teaching is another aspect. Itihasa. This is how it happened. That's what exactly it means. But jotting out the events as it is without any bias or preference, perhaps giving the context is what is history. But unfortunately, the history has been dabbled. Suddenly, a Tipu Sultan or a Savarkar gets prominence, or are pulled out of from the regular syllabus. Tampering with these is not a welcome trend. A reading habit is a must, and biography needs to be a part and parcel of this journey. Here, I just wanted to give a small, glimpse of how an integrated approach can happen. For example, when in a music class, we are teaching the child, what will it teach? First, the note is sa. In music class, the first note is sa. It is called shadja. In music terminology, shat is what? Shatja. Born or produced from six. What are those six? Curiosity. Nasika, Kantha, Ura, Talu, Jihva, and Danta. So, if we introduce even these concepts in a music class, you integrate the language, and so many things can happen together. Vocabulary, etymology, science, along with the floating, soothing, basic note. We know that, the constant effort to blend both the tradition and modern approach is definitely happening, which is a welcome thing. Children are taken to, long nature walk, just like it used to happen in our Gurukulas. Letter writing is bye-bye, because paperless, Gmails or mail is available, which is instant. So no postage, nothing. The communication goes. Earlier, the kind of pain that they used to go through in writing through palm leaves and things like that, now is a modern trend. Another fact is, the table and chair. Why not we squat? The Sukhasana or Padmasana has loads and loads of benefits. Some researchers are saying that, when you eat squatting, the digestion is also improves. So these are the new trends. that can be a part and parcel of our modern education. To conclude, we are in the best of times. It's time to be grateful. IKS, Indian Knowledge System, the Bharatiya Jnana Parampara, and technology coming together. So no Ekalavya need to face resistance. He is free to select his desired field of skill development. No Karna needs to hide or lie about his identity. Education is within everyone's reach thanks to internet. We get even textbooks free. Sitting in the comfort of their homes, one can explore and absorb. Age is no bar for learning. With the help of internet, one can grow one's knowledge and develop hobbies at any stage. So let us conclude with the Swasti Vachan from Rigveda. Ano bhadraha kratavo yantu vishwataha. May all good concepts assimilate from all corners of the world and enrich us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. If you can stop sharing your screen.
Yep.
Thank you, ma'am. Wonderful explanation, ma'am. I thoroughly enjoyed the session. So to start with, can you share an example of a successful blended learning lesson you have taught and how you assessed its effectiveness?
That is, in online, I find it now, when I'm teaching online, I'm able to, the technology is handy for me. So I'm teaching all the Panini's grammar and all those concepts using the technological, the PPT presentation, and trying to make it very interesting, even in, teaching dramas like Abhignana Shakuntalam and all. I try, our PowerPoint presentations and things like that. And the class is alive. Another thing, because I am into language, is Sambhashan. I teach conversational Sanskrit. So there also the technology is helping me because I am able to converse directly with them. And, when the conversation happens, the correction also happens.
Nice, ma'am. Actually, you have explained the next question also. Speaker sent me a message to ask you this. How do you balance the use of traditional Sanskrit texts and commentaries with modern educational resources and materials?
Yeah. The technology is there, and we are there to, we are in a blessed time, I would say.
That's true. Yeah, you said like we need to be grateful. This is the best time. We can blend both. So, ma'am, what digital tools or platforms have you found most effective for teaching Sanskrit? And how do you integrate them into your lessons?
See, now, for example, I've got an assignment to teach Karna Bharam, all right, in Madras Sanskrit College. So, the text before the actual book comes to in my hand, I have so many commentaries and things like that available. Might not be the best of commentaries, but I have something to, bank upon. Similarly, there is a website, Ashtadhyayi, which is such an exhaustive study of each word, like, just like I said, Shadja. So each word in its etymology and the grammatical, variations and differences. So just in a click of a button, I don't have to, look into the dictionary and all. I get an authentic answer and much more through this ashtadhyayi.com. So that I find is, something like that, we never imagined that these tools would be there. Most of all the texts are also available for teaching. And we have Shabda Kalpadruma, just type the word and, look, search, the meaning just pops out. Along with all the history or wherever it is being used also sometimes.
Okay. So,
But
ma'am,
on internet, we can't depend on it fully, because there are, as much as the advantages, sometimes there are total wrong interpretations and things like that. So we need to choose which is the authentic, or where we can depend.
right, right. So, yeah, as you said, like we cannot completely depend on the internet. Do you recommend any communities for Sanskrit teachers and students?
Uh, we have one, SNET. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
um, and yes, there must be many, many more. Sanskrit Bharati is the platform, which I would just recommend, where
Mm-hmm.
they teach right from the basics, and they do a wonderful job. All their lessons are there in YouTube. So, as a follow up, you can just fall back and revise. So, Sanskrit Bharati is doing a wonderful job.
Okay. Coming to the challenges, ma'am, what are some common challenges you face when blending traditional and modern methods in your classroom, and how do you overcome them?
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, doctors face it a lot when the patient comes, all the haphazard search in the internet, and they'll come and tell that this is what is the diagnosis. They themselves diagnose, and the doctor, and they challenge the doctor and things like that. Similarly, sometimes, a student would have seen some, interpretation, and would like to, show. So that is irksome, when if it is wrong, and still you have to face such uh, questions, or how do you say it's not authentic what you're telling, and things like that. So
Mhm.
these are the challenges I find, because too much of knowledge, it's so,
Right,
it gets sometimes overwhelming.
that's true.
And everybody tries to become a scholar, like me also, maybe.
Yeah. So, ma'am, how do you assess student learning and understanding in a blended Sanskrit classroom?
uh, Assessment, usually, I, in the class itself, in the last part, just as we are having a question and answer session, I ensure that there is a kind of a recap. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
the recap happens, and when you're asking the questions, and the, so a little further explanation and things like that. And I do share in a common platform all the PPT, and the presentation, and with the WhatsApp, the student individually, they can they send a question, or they want a clarification and correction also. When people are elderly, I correct, not in the common platform. I go to that, reply privately and correct it. So these are the tools which are available to us. So the improvement happens at the same time. The person who is struggling to learn the language doesn't feel, small. He's bindas. He would like to share all his doubts.
Right. So, India now, we are celebrating Mr. Gukesh, the world's youngest chess champion.
Yeah.
Your slide caught my eye, my ma'am. So, how do you think blended learning approaches can help cultivate exceptional talent like Gukesh's in students and especially in subjects like Sanskrit?
Yeah. Uh, uh, Especially in Sanskrit. Yeah, because Sanskrit now is, because of internet and because of these platforms, the it is widespread. Many people just approach, and the platform is wide, and it's easily available. So that way we are able to spread. Another thing is, any language, if it has to live, it has to breathe, then the spoken skill has to be there. We can't, say Sanskrit through some other language. Sanskrit has to be done, taught in the medium of Sanskrit. So all those things are possible because of the technological advances. And to promote Sanskrit, the first thing is, let many people start conversing. Moment you converse, you feel it's your language. And uh, Sanskrit Indian knowledge system is something which is coming up, and making news. There, it is not just language and literature, it is the vast knowledge in every field that has to be tabbed and explored and verified, and if it is worth, absorbed. So that is happening now, and each and every Sanskritist, one who should contribute to the promotion of Sanskrit.
Great, ma'am. That's all from my end, ma'am. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions. Anything else you want to mention before I end the session?
Oh, thanks a lot for giving me this platform. Again, it is thanks to the technology that we are able to connect, and
Absolutely.
it's a great, opportunity for me to interact.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day. I'll end the session now.